What's good, people? We're back with another episode of the Full Quarter Talk podcast. I'm Josh Masoki, joined by,
Matas Baranauskas.
and we're here talking about Game 3 of the NBA Finals. A lot happened, very physical. The crowd reacting to Draymond Green as we saw coming into it. So it was a great game for all Celtics fans. I'm rocking my Celtics. I've got a bleeding green right now. Matas is repping the Warriors.
Yeah, for today.
But yeah, man, it was never in doubt. Celtics all the way. But nah, I came into it just purely analytical. Obviously, I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, so I've got no horse in the race, and I tried to be as objective as possible coming into it. I mean, I still thought that it was going to be a close series anyway, but I tried to keep any emotion out of it. It's been a while since 2016 was the last time we matched up with the Warriors in the finals, and I mean in the Western Conference Finals, and so it's not. And we've seen so many different versions of them that there's not really that much of a personal connection outside of Bleacher Report and ESPN posting our 3-1 lead and the thing every year. But so I picked the Warriors in 7, and in a way it's a cop out because we all think it's gonna go pretty long and it could go either way. And so I came in it, I was thinking the Celtics win, it'd be good to see the turnaround. We've kind of got like a little personal connection with the Celtics, not just because of Mavs, but because our second episode back this year was kind of about them. So it'd be cool to see that transformation, like from that point of the season to them lifting Larry O'Brien. And just everything that comes with it, the new coach, everything. And then with the Warriors, like it would have been cool. I like Curry as a player, so it'd be cool to see him finally win a Finals MVP. Klay coming back from his 2 years out and everything. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm pretty neutral. But oh my, like I finally remember like why I hate the Warriors. Like, so Draymond Green is just like, what is this guy? We're gonna go into it deep.
Should we start with Game 3 itself
We're not gonna go.
first?
Yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just setting the scene right now. But yeah, so obviously everything that comes with Draymond Green, who I've actually because I enjoy his like basketball analysis and everything, and so I've enjoyed that part of him. But oh my god, on the court, and then Klay, like what the? But yeah, that's just kind of an overview of what we're gonna go into later on. But first, let's just talk about Game 3. Matters, go ahead, man.
First quarter, Jaylen Brown. All seasons, literally, Jaylen Brown, if he has a good game, it's from the get go. Like 17 points in first quarter in the finals game. Yeah, he finished with 27, but 17 in the first when we needed to start game strong after game 2. It's huge. And I think one person probably made not like he didn't like put numbers and stats, but Robert Williams was very impressive, very important
Huge,
last
man.
night
He was
because
huge.
I can feel because of the 2-day break period, he's getting healthier because in only
Yeah,
game
he
2
came
he
out.
did.
He started the game like feeling healthy, and I know how I've never had surgery in my knee, but I've been dealing with knee issues like pretty much since I was 16. So I understand when you come into it, like when you're warm and you start a game, especially if you've had some rest, you're like completely loose and you're in it and you're going great. But you can see throughout the game as he started to get a bit worse, but still his impact throughout, like his rim protection is the difference in this series so far, to
Yeah,
be honest. But yeah, like JB and JT to an extent, but JB especially, his aggression of scoring and playmaking and on the defensive end, but especially with the way that they attack. Because before, in previous series, his turnovers have come from him being kind of indecisive and him kind of trying to handle the ball rather than just attack these mismatches, because there's no one on this team that can hold him one-on-one. And the, the Warriors are having issues holding anyone one-on-one right now. Uh, but yeah, with Jaylen Brown especially, he just set the tone at the start of every game that they've won. In terms of just attacking, and it's opened up for him. He's opened up his three for him, and he's just attacking with confidence, like just the dunks, everything. He's going at them. But I think the the kind of main keys that I have for like this game and the difference in this game was firstly the defensive adjustment on Draymond Green, because in the second game he probably had his most impactful game, because he was able to just attack Al Horford. He had the speed advantage, and it kind of allowed him to make plays for other players on the team. He got a couple and ones and got people going that way. So they switched that matchup. They switched it to Jason Tatum, have him guard him, and that kind of took that away because he can't get that first step going on Jason Tatum, and then you see Draymond Green kind of exposed as very limited offensively. Uh, and then another thing was the C's finally showing their physicality and that the advantage that they have that way. So they damn near doubled them in points in the paint. They were plus 16 in the rebounds, plus 9 offensive rebounding. And then the big thing that we keep saying, we said coming into the series and we said after every game, is that they won the turnover battle. Every team that's won the turnover battle has won the game. Because their defense in the half court is so good that the Warriors offense really struggles when they can't get out and transition, because they limited the transition opportunities. I mean, there was just stretches where the Warriors just couldn't score, and especially the way that they forced Curry into every action and got him in foul trouble, that messed up their rotation with Curry as well. So, and when Curry's on the court, their offense is horrendous. Like their offense is non-existent.
Like Klay Thompson was good last night, but no one else. Like, it was Curry and Thompson, and they need the third person to score to, I think, once they have a chance.
And even with Thompson, like you kind of get a feel for now that he isn't as good as he was back in the day. You kind of get a feel for like how bad his shot selection is.
Yeah,
The shots that he takes are just not helping the team. And when they're going in, it's great. But unless it turns into a 60 points on 11 dribbles or whatever it is, like one of those type of nights, it doesn't really help them too much because they can't get a flow and a rhythm offensively, because that Golden State Warriors offense is built on flow and getting people shots and rhythm. But Klay kind of seems to be the only player that just takes random shots in the middle of it, by like 1 foot in the mid range and all of that. So, uh, I mean, I guess whatever it takes to get to get Klay mentally into it, and hopefully well, not hopefully, hopefully for the Warriors, he continues to build on that. But still, his shot selection doesn't really make up for his defense. No longer makes up for the bad shots that he takes.
yeah.
And when they're going in, it looks great. When they're not, it does not look great at all. But
Well,
he's definitely more aggressive.
at one point, you said about turnovers. I think it was in third quarter. Yeah, again, like third
Yeah,
quarter.
we'll go into that third quarter for
Third
sure.
quarter of Warriors is different level. And
I
like
mean,
at one point there was 8-0 run in 37 seconds.
yeah. The it's real. I don't know why pe- people continue to doubt it. Like that, the third quarter is coming for the Warriors every time, and it's a thing where I'm sure every locker room has had different strategies, like or just like don't even acknowledge it. We just play our game, or get ready for that third quarter. Whether you acknowledge it, you don't acknowledge it. You focus on it, you ignore it. It's coming. Like
Yeah.
ask the Blazers, who had a 20-point lead in every game and it got swept. Like, yeah, it's coming. Uh, but in 2 out of the 3 games, the Celtics have survived it, and really, it is kind of just showing that the outside of those third quarters, and when they've survived those third quarters, it's because of being able to show their defensive ability. And most of those third quarters is kind of just a lapse in attention to detail with not allowing those turnovers, because when the Warriors are not getting out in transition, they're not really doing anything. And it starts with Steph, because when Steph, and we can talk about Steph, uh, I don't get the defensive strategy with Steph. Why they keep dropping? I don't understand. You drop coverage against the greatest shooter of all time.
We won 2 games with it, so
But I don't understand. I don't get it though. Like, what's
I
what's
think
the
they want to shock Steph, so like he's so open that he doesn't expect
because
that.
every time Steph has gone off, it's because of that. It's because of that coverage, and then they switch it or they put like Derek White on him. He stays attached to him, and then he doesn't score.
Yeah,
It was like
I don't know. I know it's weird. It's weird.
it feels like the only person that can defend Steph right now is Steve Kerr with his rotations, man.
Yep.
Because the way Steph was on a roll there, it looked like he was about to will them into that win. And then Steve Kerr takes him out from, I think, like 3 minutes remaining in the third, all the way to like 3 minutes into the fourth. And in that stretch, it was, yeah, the
Yeah.
Celtics took it right back. They just took the
Yeah.
game right back. Um,
Yeah, and I think I want to Steph Thompson. I think Marcus Smart for us was very good last night as well.
yeah,
Like
man.
his defense, his ball facilitating. Like he scored a ton of. Well, he had 26, 24 points, and he was everywhere. Like last game he had 2 points. This game he had 27,
Mm.
24. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
So
great.
when he's on it, like when he can actually score, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's really like he attacks really well. His aggression is great. Um, because there was like wasn't it like two back-to-back plays where he just straight line drive on his defender,
Yeah,
gets
and
to the
I'm pretty sure it was Steph Curry.
yeah, and even at the start of the game they got him going early with post up on Steph, so they really are going all in on this attacking Steph, and I get it because even though Steph is a good defender, you making him use all his energy up on that end as well definitely seems to be a good formula, and being physical with him. And I just like the Celtics as a whole. Their ball movement and their early ball movement was great because especially with like players like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown who'd get doubled or trapped, they'd always pass early. They don't wait until that's why they limited their turnovers as well. Because Jason Tatum would see the double team coming and just kick it straight away. Or he'd be halfway through the drive and just swing past it all the way to the corner, and then it just caught the Warriors off guard because they weren't ready for the quick decision making. So that's working really well for them, and that needs to be something that continues. Because to be honest, the Celtics just look like the better team, and if they don't give away the basketball, they seem like they should win every game. If they just don't give away the basketball, and that seems to
Yeah,
be it. Seems to be it. Uh, what are some other notable things? Yeah, so not only did they survive the third quarter, but I thought what I thought was gonna be the biggest momentum swing of the game was that 7 point possession. That looked like you have to have some pretty good like voices in your locker room there to survive that type of play because everything went right for the Warriors in that play. And now like to get that
that was meant. That Otto Porter shot as well.
yeah, the Potter because when you hit a shot like that, if that happened in Oracle, the game would have been over. Like
Yeah,
if it happened in Oracle, because yeah, that show was not that show was disgusting. Like,
but like seven. I thought, but yeah, because at that
because
point
didn't
it
that
was
bring it to like within two?
yeah, 2 point
Yeah,
game, and then they scored three on the next possession to take the lead.
yeah, man.
Yeah, but then after that, like,
But
yeah,
yeah, the
Celtics
resolve of the
just
Celtics was just there the whole time. They never let it get into their head, even though they was. I think they just kind of have it in their head that okay, the Warriors third quarter is up, it will come, but we trust our fourth quarter more.
yeah,
And we know that if we're in the game going to the fourth, we can execute. And so they never really let it get into their heads. They felt in control the whole game, and they were in control the whole game. Uh, but yeah, suspect. I guess you can't blame Kerr too much for the rotations this time because they got Steph in foul trouble so early.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, just really
Where
they're
was
right.
Finals MVP ladder list? The pool.
Yeah, Poole had like a quarter and a half of good play in the whole series, and he voted up to second position over Jason
No,
Tatum.
no, it wasn't even. He hit that half court shot, and yeah, you were in the finals MVP.
Yeah. Finals MVP. Yeah, those.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. They're
But yesterday he had 10 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, in 24 minutes.
yeah. But he's still up there though because he had a few tween hezzy. He had a tween hezzy cross.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that so he's still better. He's still better. All right. So if that's kind of like the breakdown of the game, let's go into our like little mini topics within that. So Draymond Green's antics. Firstly, you need to give me a bit more than that if you're gonna be a full-time podcaster and play at the same time. Like, bro, you need to give me a little bit more than 2 points. You're gonna have to maybe average more points than fouls.
That's mad. I know he's not a scorer, but
More than fouls, and you're supposed to be defensive player of the year, like type
I'm
player.
pretty sure wait, fouls. I'm pretty sure he has more fouls than field goals made as well. Like, it's mental.
Because look, oh yeah, and he had that. So he had that moment where he trash talked to Grant Williams, and then did you see the tweet where pretty much since he talked trash to Grant Williams, he's averaged since he told Grant Williams, "You want to be me, you're never gonna be me." He's averaged 2 points per game, 25% shooting, and 5 fouls.
5 fouls.
No, sorry, wait. No, he had 6 fouls both. Wait, no, he fouled out. Was it the first game he fouled out in?
I think it was the first games he fouled out in.
Did he talk trash in that game? Was it? It was that game, wasn't it?
He
So
talked trash in every single
yeah,
game.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. But I'm thinking,
but yeah, I know,
thinking
I
about
know.
the
Yeah,
specific quote though.
yeah,
But I
I know.
mean, in 2 out of 3 games, he's fouled out. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. Has he lost a step? Because
I think, to be fair, I think he says like, "Oh, like I'm good," but I think like Celtics are in his head.
they're in his head more than he's in their head.
Yeah, because and the way he speaks after press conference.
But he's in his own head. Look, this
Yeah,
is what it is. Okay, like in 2015 and 2016, he was not a liability from three. Like he wasn't a crazy shooter. I think he did have one year where he was like 40%. I think the
well,
2016
was it
season.
2016 finals? He hit 6 threes in Game 7.
Oh yeah. In that game, I mean, he would have won Finals MVP if the Warriors won
How?
that.
How?
He had
Six
like a
threes.
30.
Draymond Green 6 threes.
I think he had like 32 points, like 12, 15 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Yeah,
So he had like an all-time. He had one of the best game sevens of all time. I remember watching that. Yeah, he went crazy, but he just lost all of his confidence in his shot, and he's trying to make up for that by being this overly aggressive, enforcer or whatever. But I think deep down he knows like that he's not having the type of impact he wants offensively, and it's not just enough to be. They don't have Kevin Durant, so you can't just be that defensively. You can't be a liability offensively. You don't have to be a crazy offensive powerhouse or anything. But they don't even look at him on the. They don't even look at him on the defensive
yeah.
side of the ball. Because they go Jason Tatum there on him to stop the drive, but then also just to be another help defender. So with that type of play, it just disrupts everything. And now they're just too Curry centric now because even with Klay, he's not consistent enough for them to rely on him. You can't rely on Jordan Poole from game to game, so it's kind of just Steph or bust really. And that got exposed in a game where Steph's in foul trouble. There's just stretches where they're just struggling to even score. Uh, and he just got ugly. But yeah, Draymond just I don't know. He's a smart player, so I think he knows like he's too smart for his own good in terms of that he's just trying too hard now to go into this other side of trash talk, get into their head, but you're not getting into their head, you're getting to your own head. And this Celtics team are resilient. They've got good leadership. They're not going to go for that.
Yeah, and like the way he's getting away with so many fouls. I think like those
Oh, he should have
little
fouled
like.
out. Like he should have either fouled out or been ejected
Yeah, for sure.
in like the first half.
Like the one where literally Grant just touched
Just
him.
grabbed him, just threw him away.
Like,
Off the free throw one, right? He just
oh yeah, this is the way and it was Tatum as well. Like, come on.
he does his stuff in front of the refs as well. Look,
Yeah,
I understand. So this the Steve Javy comment about him, about them not wanting to throw a player out in that on that stage. I get it. I get the fact that in the finals you don't want to make the refs control the
yeah,
outcome of the game. But there's an extent to it where it just gets out of hand. Like you can't
like
have mindset the whole game.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, because at a certain point, the veteran in Draymond Green, who's been in the league for like 10 years, has been in the finals 6 out of 8 years, should know like he's not a rookie to where you're like, oh, like let's like, oh, don't oh, be nice to him. Like they're literally protecting him.
and it's like every game as well. It's not like, oh, like one game and that's it. It's like every game.
He literally needs to like cut someone's head off to get a tech for real. Like it's
Like,
ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's weird. It's very weird.
It's ridiculous at this point, and I think like the Celtics coaching staff or front office have definitely sent a memo to the NBA like to tell them to look at this because it's on the stage and it's just a bad look now. Now that it's so public, the NBA will just look bad if he does. Like he's gonna get an early tech in game 4.
Like he tried to injure Jaylen Brown first when falling on him and rolling
Yeah,
around.
yeah, he just jumped. No, that was the other play. That whole play was a foul. Like
Yeah,
he didn't steal the ball. He didn't hit the ball. He hit his arm, and then he dove on him. Like he's just being reckless at this point.
and then the one on Tatum where he just grabbed him on his like neck shoulder area when his shoulders already
It's
like
not even
not
like
I
there's boxing out, but then he literally just grabbed his knee,
yeah, he's
just
literally
trying to
next
set
to him and
him
just grabbed
down.
him. Like, like
He's gonna get forget. I mean, he's already in San Francisco. He might as well go play. He might as well play for the NFL team at this
yeah,
point.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's been like it's crazy. He's gonna
Yeah,
have
and
a
then
UFC contract.
and then some and some and now yeah, like ended up with Draymond. Some Warriors players think that oh, like fans should be classy where he's acting like that.
Yeah, so let's go into Clay's comments post game. He kind of talked about how the Celtics fans aren't classy for the Draymond Green chants and stuff with kids in the fans, but they pulled up Twitter being Twitter, they pulled up the receipts and firstly looking back to the famous last words of Klay Thompson before they blew the 3-1 lead when he kind of talked some trash about in the post game interview about LeBron complaining about Draymond Green calling him a B word, and he said some people get in their feelings when people say bad words, and yeah, like it's come full circle. But then also, yeah, they pulled up receipts of like Warriors fans calling LeBron out of his name, and look,
Like
it's the
Draymond Green
finals,
against Memphis, he walked out with his two fingers out to the Grizzlies fans as well.
bro.
Like,
It's the end. You've been in the finals
yeah,
6 out of 8
it's the
years.
finals
You know what
exactly.
it is. You know what it is. Passionate fan bases. It is what it is, man. Like, what are you expecting here?
Did Trey Young complain when all Madison Square Garden shouted, "Fuck you, Trey"?
And they be doing it at like concerts.
Yeah,
They be doing that at
like,
every event. Yeah. So
I don't
I don't
know.
know. That's just being salty after
And
after.
then wait. The best thing, and Clay said that, and then when Draymond talked after post game conference, he was asked, "How did you play?" I was shit with his kid next to him. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I
It's just reaching, man. It seems like they always do that. You remember Aisha's like her tweet her famous tweet about the league being rigged and all of that. Like,
Well,
just stop.
I think Draymond's wife went on
Yeah, yeah,
Instagram
yeah.
as well.
That's why I was referring to that.
Yeah,
Because his wife came out. I'm like, okay, like a sports event with a bunch of people drunk, like in the NBA finals. What are you
like
expecting?
is like that's the thing. Like, is the like I understand you can't compare that in regular season, but it's the finals.
Especially when you're like you're intentionally antagonizing the crowd as well.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be worse anyway. It's gonna be worse next game.
Oh, next game is gonna be
There's
next
gonna
game
be
is
some
gonna be
science. There's gonna be all types of things, man. Look,
yeah.
I get there's people there's fan bases that take it too far. Utah, there's some racial undertones to things that go in there, but just the Draymond Green chance, like, come on now, like, what are we doing here? It's not that deep,
Yeah.
and I'm
Like
sure I thought he'd be used to it by now anyway. Like,
yeah.
you've carved out like that role for yourself as that guy, that the heel that your fan base loves, other fan bases hate. Just keep
And I
keep
feel like usually I think like Draymond is that kind of guy that like that kind of energy like fuels him, and he's better like in that atmosphere. Where like come
so
on, you know. But like I don't like rent free right now. I think
rent free, rent free.
because he's like completely different player.
Yeah, he's in his own head as well. He's in his own head as well. This is not 2015 to 17 Draymond. Like, he's deep in his own head, and I think it's just frustration about his own play that's kind
Yeah.
of bleeding out into these other things. And same with Klay. Like, yeah, it's just frustration, it seems. We'll see how that progresses. It's definitely not going to get worse after those comments. I'm not going to get better.
Well, we'll
But
see in his podcast how it's gonna be.
yeah, yeah. Oh man, he's gonna start getting fined for these, man, for those podcasts, bro. The way he's moving, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna get them hot. We're gonna get them timeout podcasts. We get.
Halftime talks live from the locker room.
He's gonna get a deal with the NBA that lets him, like, you know how they get mic'd up.
Yeah.
I would just do the podcast on the court. Just stream it straight to YouTube with
Yeah.
a mic'd up. All right, but all right, up 2-1. Obviously last game you had that game two. You had that big uh third quarter, but outside of that, they kind of controlled the game. So are the Celtics now in control of the series?
Well, they should be. They should be because it's 2-1. We still have one game in Boston. So if I think game four is must win for Celtics. It's a must win for Celtics definitely because it'll be 3-1. And I don't know, but yeah, I think they in control. Like game one, game three, they played well, and they won. And game two, they had a lot of turnovers, and I would say referees was kind of dodgy.
It definitely was. It
Yeah,
definitely
so
was.
and Warriors won that game. So when they keep the goal both of themselves, like we should be good.
Yeah, they had Scott Foster in the game to clean it up for the
Yeah,
Celtics.
exactly. Yeah, but it's like 13-0 now with the Scott Foster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think the Celtics should know what to expect. They should expect that game two kind of desperation out of the Warriors. Uh, yeah, if they can take control of this game, if they can get this next game, and knowing how strong the Celtics are on the road, like, yeah, it should be a series that they should.
But Warriors won, I think, in every series at least one wrong game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they have. Yeah, yeah, they have. Of their whole like playoff journey,
Yeah.
uh, going back a decade. So, yeah,
So now we won on the road, and to be fair, like we very good on the
you broke
road,
the
and
game
we're
three
not.
curse.
Yeah, and we're not so good at home as well. So and Warriors usually get to win. So we'll see what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, man. What are the biggest keys you're looking to for the Celtics to kind of keep up going into game four?
I think I think Smart needs to be big again, because when he scores, I think like we should be good, because we know that Tatum and Jaylen Brown can score easily, and we need that third one. Like Smart was the third one in game 3, and like Al Horford was big in game 1. So someone needs to step up. I think especially Smart, because he has that confidence.
Yeah.
He always have the confidence to shoot. And if he hits the first basket, I think he will be good. And again, Rob Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rob Williams. Like, you're gonna need to continue to hope that the training staff come through for him and keep him right. Because even when he gets limited minutes, 15, 20 minutes, like the impact that he has, if you can just get enough where him and Horford can rotate in minutes and have one of them on the court at all times, like that's enough.
Yeah, and well, yesterday he had 4 blocks, 3 steals, and that's high. That says so like how good he is and how big of a thing impact he
Yeah,
brings.
and great adjustment from Udoka. Like we did not need to see Tice minutes again.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
I agree. Yeah,
he
so
had no business touching the NBA Finals floor. So good, they kept him off the parquet there. Yeah, he had no business touching the
yeah,
floor.
not in this series, definitely not against the Warriors.
Yeah, and let's not even get started on Neesmith. But it wasn't a blowout, so
Yeah,
it wasn't a blowout.
I
But
know.
yeah, and then with the Warriors, if they're to come back into this series, they're gonna need a lot more from Poole.
Yeah,
They're gonna need Draymond to just get out of his head and just start playing basketball instead of trying to play mind games. Like he's trying to be, I don't know, he's trying to be Charles Xavier out here. Just focus on your game, bro. Just play basketball.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I think they need not just from Poole. I think it's either like Poole or Wiggins, like the third person, like third
Wiggins
player
was
to
pretty
score.
good, I think.
Yeah, he was
Italian.
decent.
But yeah, they need I mean, they need a consistent second, really. Uh, but they need. I think Poole is bigger than even Klay because if Poole can, when Curry is not on the court, be that playmaker and be that player that gets them going that way, he has kind of a similar impact to Curry in that especially at home, he gets the crowd hype as well.
Yeah,
With the way that he gets his points, they're always loud. Like his points are always loud. So uh, they kind of need that because Clay is not really going to create for anyone else. Draymond's kind of in his head. The Celtics their defensive strategy is kind of taken away Draymond's playmaking ability. So they need Poole to come through in that way, and then uh, they need they need to do something about this, just their physicality as well, because obviously the Celtics are a much more athletic team than them, but they were able to make things a little bit closer in the last game. Uh, so they need to get back to that any way they possibly can. But it's easier said than done. I think the Celtics across the board are just bigger, stronger, more athletic at every position. So that's going to be a tough one. But making things easier for Steph, uh, yeah, I don't know. I think they just if they put out this game, that can they just have to draw back to their championship mentality and their championship experience. But I don't know. It's hard to really see the Celtics losing, but it's also hard to see the Warriors let themselves get into a 3-1 hold as well.
yeah,
There's not really a logical thing behind it, but it's just like, are the Warriors really gonna let that happen? You know what I mean? This is that really it doesn't really make sense, but you just can't imagine it.
yeah. I don't know. Like, I think Warriors. Yeah, as you said, like, they can't let that happen because they need to win game 4 to have a chance to win the title. Probably
Yeah.
at
Because
that point.
that's pretty much what I was saying, like before game 2 was that I don't really have a logical reason why the Warriors are gonna win game 2. Just because they have to.
Yeah. At this point, they have like if they lose one game, they some
But yeah,
some
it's
Warriors
gonna
fans
be
are saying they're gonna win 3 in a row. So
yeah, just like the series was over when it was tied, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
So
it's just this would be a very big game for uh, the Celtics core just going forward in their careers, just having a game where they just, if they can just have that moment where they just put their foot on their neck and say, no, it's over. Like, that's
yeah,
gonna go a long way for them for their future as like championship contenders and everything, like that mentality. So we'll see, because the formula is kind of there for the Celtics to win. I think they completely know what they have to do to win. For the Warriors, it's a bit like, I don't know if they've walked away from any game feeling that confident. Like, even in the game 2 win, it was like, okay, we had our third quarter explosion, but did we really control any part of the game from you know, um, tactical point of view? Like, do we have something that we can say before games and in practice and in the film room? Like, this is how we win. This is our formula to winning. But I think the Celtics clearly have that.
yeah, and yeah, I think so. I think like especially with Ime Udoka, I think his mindset is like just don't get excited. Like is only game 2. Like we have 2 more to play because
Job not
after
finished. Job finished.
you jump the finish and
Yeah,
and after winning conference finals, he said like this franchise don't hang banners for conference finals wins. So like he understands like how much this means. I think for everyone. And one more thing from that game before the game started, when Warriors came out to warm up, the basket was a bit higher than it should
or
be.
they need to do that to win. Like, we don't
Yeah,
play on
but
both sides.
no, like no one thinks that. Yeah, then second half, Celtics have to shoot in the same hoop.
Or they're gonna
Like,
change it. They're gonna change it at the half.
yeah, like make it make sense. Like, come on.
Yeah, Warriors more than anything. Like, the Warriors fan base is not, they do not deserve a win.
Yeah, like,
That fan base, they're just so toxic, and like the way they acted, like they acted like the Cavs, or they acted like a team that's been in a drought for like 50 years just because they had 2 injured seasons.
yeah.
Like, oh, the road back to the finals and being able to rise above all odds. We only won 15 games 2 seasons ago and we're back in the fight. Like, shut up, man.
Like there wasn't like health reasons why you won like that many games.
Yeah.
Not like you had no good players.
Bro, you missed a COVID season, and like the next season you were like in the playing. Like, relax, man.
Yeah,
I like you
like
been before, please.
yeah, just chill out a bit.
Yeah.
Like I understand like if Celtics like in that like his first time like
Yeah,
in
like 10 years.
10 years there to whip in the
Like
finals.
12 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
in Boston as well. Like in Boston, so a lot of famous people in the Garden
yeah, man. Nah, this is big
got to win.
because of the ESPN, like that BPI thing or whatever, like saying that they have an 88% chance of winning and stuff like that. So they act like they're trying to like develop this underdog
Yeah,
narrative.
like that makes like completely no sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like
But
it's not like we were first team like in the East and they like 10th in the West.
yeah,
Like
please miss me with that, man. Miss me with all that.
they had better record than us. So like, what do you mean?
Miss me with all that, bro.
Yeah.
We remember the graphics about the experience, man. We remember all that. Please
Yeah.
stop it.
Yes,
But
exactly.
yeah. Game 4 on Friday night. We're gonna be looking very closely because that's gonna be a big game. I think what normally winners of game 4s go on to win the series. I
I
think that's
think so. Same
yeah.
with game 3 as well.
So let's see if the C's can finish. Well, no, they can't finish the job, but let's see if they can step on their necks and really get a stronghold on the series. Yeah, it'll be very interesting, man. It'll be a very good game
Yeah.
to watch for sure.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Oh, what Draymond's already gone on, but the pod is out. He said,
Really?
he said Warriors start talks. He says F you, yeah, his family is livid apparently.
Oh
But yeah,
no. Oh no. Bless him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch that. So
Yeah, I need to watch it as
that,
well.
that was this episode 45, I think, of the pod. Thanks for joining. Zach, we're out. Peace.